Hi, Silas.
Hello.
Yes, I told you my friend is always responsive and responsible. That was not like him. So he was trying to fix his computer.
Good morning.
For some reason, there it is. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I am
Let you chat.
better now. Thank you, Victoria.
You're welcome.
All right, Jean, nice to meet you. My name is Silas Goodman. I am the financial controller here for the global operations. It's a global company. We just acquired another company. We're trying to build a team out to help support the growth. And I wanted to know if you could just walk me through quickly your resume and your background. And at the end, just let me know why you think you'd be best for the junior accountant role here.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Goodman. So my name is Jean Fils. I started with Miami Air International straight out of Florida International University. My first role was more an analyst role, so I was assisting with flight manifests, landings, so different invoices regarding that. So I would do the inputting of the invoices, working with the staff accountant for month-end closing, verifying landing fees if they were accurate, just ensuring that what was inputted into the system was on point. Furthermore, once I got into Genting, which was Resorts World Bimini, it was a construction and hospitality project. That opportunity was more of a staff accountant role where I did all functions. So created general ledgers for construction projects. I worked with the CFO who was on site in Miami. I assisted her with month-end closing. We use SAP. Um, any invoices again, just verifying the fees, any discrepancies. Worked with another staff accountant, so it's a team effort. This was contract based. Um, and then I moved over to more of a startup culture with Maxim Advisors, where I was introduced to NetSuite, and they trained me on, working within that system. So that one, we would work with different clients. So, for instance, if it's a construction company, they would have different purchase orders. So I would ensure that the purchase orders matched. Um, the invoices match the purchase orders for those projects. Again, more general ledger work. I also would assist with month-end closing procedures, any analytical work that needed to be done. I've also went to FIU again, and I got a certificate in data analyst, a data analyst certificate. So Microsoft Excel, I'm very proficient there. Some Python, some R, not too much. So I am familiar with setting up some automations, and my goal is to continue to grow as a staff accountant and get to the next level. I am looking forward to going back to get my CPA license, so I can just be a bigger asset to different opportunities. And so,
Okay.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You can finish.
Yeah, so with working with a recruiting firm that would kind of get me placed in better opportunities, so I can see the path towards growth.
All right. And what exactly are you currently looking for to do?
Yeah, so like I told her, larger companies per se, so definitely more established entities that have the ability to train, mentorship, and things of that nature. That's really my goal right now, is to be in an environment where I can see a pathway to growth. So staff accountant, of course, going back to school, or doing some type of training to getting higher positions.
All right. And if you are selected, how soon can you start?
I can start right away. So definitely been just preparing for this interview and this meeting so that I could start right away.
All right, and my first question would be, what do you think would be key accounting challenges in like a telehealth healthcare company like mine? You know, if you were to come and start, are you? And in fact, let me don't answer that question. Let me rephrase the question in a way that I think would be more realistic. If you're hired, are you trainable?
Yes, I am definitely trainable and coachable. I have in college, I was a student athlete, so I just understand about being on the team, working collaboration, um, just understanding the different dynamics of each person on your team. So if you're working with the CFO, they have certain uh, things that they want you to do. The accounting manager, yourself. So just understanding how each person works. I'm very keen on that.
My department, I'm really all about the cultural fit. I need somebody who can actually do the job. I have no apprehension that you would be able to do the job, but I'm really more about the cultural fit because the room is very unique with different backgrounds, and I need somebody who can come in and not only do the work but also fit into the room. So I would like to get to know more about you as a person. Like, what do you like to do outside of work? Like, what are your hobbies?
Okay. Oh, great, great. I'm a photographer, videographer, so I attend a lot of cultural events in Miami. So um, doing a run club, I think Saturday or Sunday. So I'll be filming that. So that's what I like to do. I like to run and work out. Woke up like 6:30 this morning, worked out. So that was pretty much a lot of my hobbies. It's around fitness, lifestyle, and just staying in that space.
How much experience would you say do you have with accounts payable?
Over 5 years. So I've worked in different systems: QuickBooks, Zero, um, NetSuite. So I have a lot of experience in that area, being very attention to detail with invoicing, just just making sure everything's paid correctly and accurately for the entire company. So I'm very keen on that.
One of the things I am definitely looking for in this position is someone who's very detail oriented. Because if you're dealing with either EAP, and I also like to say that I try to give everyone in the department and the room the same kind of experience. So I grew up in a culture of accounting where if you got an accounting job, they try to silo you. Like they'd be like, oh, the only thing you can do is AP, right? So you only see one part of the P&L. And that's not how I like to run the room. I like everyone in the room to be able to see the entire breadth of the company. It may seem overwhelming at first, but I also like people that like to ask questions. So if let's say I hired a to start off doing AP, he may transition into doing the AR because I had a junior accountant that started last year, and within 3 to 6 months, he ended up having to do pretty much AR as well as AP because one of my team members went down and she had maternity leave. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like the room is such that you have to be able to be a bit versatile to be able to get into different spaces. But I also feel like myself and my accounting manager, we are there to not just help you, but also mentor you for the things that you don't know. We are currently using NetSuite, and I need somebody who is experienced in NetSuite. How long would you say you've been using NetSuite?
I would say 2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
Which company was it that you used NetSuite at?
Maxim Advisors.
Okay. And what exactly were you doing at Maxim Advisors?
So they were a accounting audit company, so I did more audit there. So we were working with different type of companies. So like I was saying, one of the companies I was working with was a construction company. So just working on different purchase orders for projects, inputting them into NetSuite, just ensuring that you know it was a percentage project, construction project. So just making sure each month that we allocated the right amount of project invoices to those projects based on the overall uh, percentage that was um, approved. So again, I would do the month end closing, doing different entries in the ledgers, and that was pretty much my role there on the audit team.
All right. And how would you say you would ensure data is entered correctly across systems like the billing platform or even the AP? Walk me through, for example, if you're entering a bill into NetSuite, the things that you look for before you enter it.
I ensure invoice numbers, um, dates match, projects. So the projects, make sure the costs are associated with the right accounts. So so making sure we put it in the right account. Make sure the invoice, the dates match, invoice number, the dates match. It's going to the right projects, and at the month end, just going back again. If you're on a team, if I'm accounts payable, I'm the person doing all of those roles, but just ensuring that what I entered in the beginning is what I also see at the end of the month. So, your internal invoices, you can just ensure that you're doing it correctly if you take your time to do it, and then at the end of the month, going back and making sure that it matches what you put in at the top of the month.
Yeah, only one thing is missing from that was making sure that you are selecting the right vendor.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And the reason why I say that is because, for example, this literally happened yesterday. My AP person got an invoice from the same vendor, but a different subsidiary in their company.
Mhm.
But my AP person put that under the wrong sub. So let's say it came from Evo Fuels, or ABC Fuels.
Mhm.
This is just an example, and they sent another invoice that says ABC Flights.
Mm.
They entered the invoice under ABC Fuels.
Mhm.
And so when the payment went out, ABC came back and said, hey, this was not for fuels, this was for our flights division. Can you make sure that you correctly select the right vendor? Like, so that to me is very, very important. But that's just for like, if you have any future interviews, if you're not selected.
Yeah.
My other question would be, if you're looking at a typical balance sheet and all the accounts that's typical to every industry and every company, there are certain accounts on the balance sheet that every company would have, like cash would be an asset, you have fixed assets, you have liabilities, and you have owner's equity. It could be stock compensation, it could be accounts payable, it could be prepaids, it could be accruals, it could be accounts receivable. So for me, my question to you would be, looking at a typical balance sheet, what would you say, in your opinion, is the most important account on the balance sheet?
I would say the cash. Cash would be the most important.
Why would you say cash is the most important?
I mean that gives you an idea of where the company is as far as activity is concerned. That gives you an idea of like how successful they are, um, how much activity is happening within the company.
All right. And my other question is, this is my last question, and then you can ask questions. In my office at our company, The owner has snacks everywhere here. Every floor you go to, it looks like Willy Wonka. I won't even lie to you. That's how the company looks. If you are a snack person and you have the option to choose a salty or sweet snack, which one do you, Gene, normally would go for?
No man. I'm a
In your
sweet.
personal life, don't even think about the company or this being an interview. This is me trying to get to know you still. What snack normally in your personal life, if you had the choice, would you go for?
Probably peanut butter and banana.
So that's the sweet or the salty?
It's kind of if I have like it's like both. It's a mixture. It's like sweet, salty. You know, it has like a little. It's not too sweet for me at least. You know what I mean? It's like I usually get like a natural peanut butter and banana. That's usually like my fuel before the gym. You know, just something. It's cheap. You know what I mean? And you know, quick and easy snack. That's usually what I like. Something healthy.
All right. So now you can ask me any questions. We have about
Yeah.
3
So
minutes.
yeah. You know, one of my questions is like, where do you see this role um, turning into? Just far as um, like like, where do you guys see this role?
I'm hiring right now for a company that we acquired a few months ago. And so this week I'm dealing with 4 new companies. I think we're currently up to EMED UK, SheMed, 520. We have about 6 companies. We just acquired 4. So the organization is growing. We have offices in the UK, offices in North Carolina, and we're trying to open in Canada and possibly Australia.
Okay.
But this company we acquired is for California, so we're trying to grow the team out to make sure that we have the support necessary to make sure this stuff happens.
Okay.
So it's I'm looking for someone permanent who can grow into the role and who can grow with the team.
Yeah.
But like I said, for me, I'm all about the culture here.
Yeah.
I realize that culture is the most important thing for me, and my boss, the CFO, agrees. So for me, I have more interviews after you, but I'm just looking for someone who can come in and grow with the team and be here for long term.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm here. I'm based in Miami, and you know, I've dedicated myself to this area, and you know, as far as you know, team is concerned, I'm definitely team oriented. Um, definitely, you know, definitely a lot of culture. You know, Caribbean, so it's just like you know, that's you know what we are. You know, just getting to know everybody, just understanding everybody's personality is big for me. You know, that's just how I move, and just you know, ensure I'm cognizant of you know different cultures, different habits, and et cetera. You know, very like I said, detail oriented on that.
Yeah, I kind of created a culture in the room where I want everyone to be who they are.
Yeah,
But of course with some level of respect and decorum. But I don't ever want anyone to feel in the room like they're uncomfortable, or the person in the room is making them uncomfortable. So if you come in, hopefully you can gel within the first week or first few weeks, which is fine.
yeah.
But do you have one more question for me?
Yeah. I mean, like the role. I mean, I'd like I'd like to start as soon as possible. You know, I definitely I got a chance to look around the app and things like that. So it looked very promising. And, if you feel like I'm that type of person that's going to be able to fit in your organization, definitely on your team, I definitely want to be a part of it. So you know, um, it's basically
This is pretty good. So I have a few more interviews. I will be making a decision no later than tomorrow
okay.
because I need someone to start first thing Monday morning.
Okay.
So I will definitely be in touch and let you know.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, son.
Thank you, and
All
thank you for coming to the interview.
All right. You're welcome. I appreciate it.
You too. You too. Take care.